Hello everybody and welcome to episode 33, Crack the Peg. I'm your host, Andrew6657. Alright guys, on this week's show we got part 2 of that tutorial. So if you liked last week's tutorial where we showed you how to take apart pretty much the whole Jakks Ruthless Aggression Classic Superstar style of action figure, you're going to like this tutorial too. It's actually about painting. It's how to paint base coats, how to wash your already painted surfaces, and then how to dry brush. Yeah, that's right, dry brush. So if you haven't heard any of those terms, I'm going to show you those in the video. So all you have to do is watch the tutorial. You'll be able to paint cool stuff like I do. And if you don't want to paint, you can just watch it anyways. So anyways, thanks for everybody who left great comments on my videos so far, and thanks for all the messages I got concerning my last tutorial. So there's a lot of positive things. A lot of people were really happy that I made a tutorial. So if you ever need a tutorial on anything else, just go ahead and hit me up. I'm always willing to share what I know with everybody else. So. And I had some great compliments on my hem wall back here. Yes, it is my favorite band and my wife's favorite band. This is mostly my wife's stuff, but I got all the music too. So either way, somebody asked me what my favorite song from him was, and I don't know. It's a hard one to make. I think Heartache Every Moment and Pretending are probably my top two, and Like St. Valentine is probably like a three-way tie. Like St. Valentine, Pretending, Heartache Every Moment. 3 favorite hymn songs right there. And if you don't know him, go download those 3 songs because they're awesome. Awesome music. Best band in the world. Him. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on with that tutorial. Hey guys, part 2 of our tutorial. We're going to go ahead and show you how to do some painting. Just a couple of painting apps. Oh, if I can get my camera to focus. Yeah, there we go. And show you guys how to just do a couple of simple painting techniques. Nothing too crazy. We're going to go over just simple painting, doing washes, and dry brushing. Real simple stuff. So this is the gun before I have done anything to it, and we're just going to paint I guess some simple like blues and different things like that on there maybe. I think it'll kind of look cool with some blue on there. So I'm going to go ahead and get some blue done on this. So we have the regular gun, and I said I wanted to paint it in blue. So this is Model Masters color Citadel Enchanted Blue. And one of the biggest mistakes people make with painting is that they don't dilute their paint. So you got to dilute your paint if you want to paint anything. If you want to paint a gun, if you want to paint an action figure, or if you even want to paint a vulgar picture, you're going to have to dilute your paint. So dilute your paint first. And I just use regular brushes. I don't use anything fancy like John Malamas uses sable hair brushes or something like that, but they're like $1,000 a piece. So I just stick with the regular hobby brushes from Hobby Lobby or whatever your hobby store is. So this is a little base that I use to mix my paints in. So it's actually just the bottom of like some NyQuil cup or something like that. So I mean, all the stuff I use, this is water and a syringe is all it is. So all the stuff that I use is real simple, is real inexpensive. I don't have millions of dollars to spend on action figures. I don't work in an action figure store, you know, yada yada yada. Oh, there's actually some stuff in there. So I mean, I try to save my money, you know. I have a I have a girlfriend in a coma to think about, you know. So, so, one big gun. So, don't be afraid if you start something that you couldn't finish. 'Cause, I mean, I started many things that I didn't finish. So, we're just gonna take a little bit of paint. So I'm gonna get some paint right there, and we're gonna dab it on this water that I've already made. So, and you want it still a little thick, but nothing too bad. And you just want to brush this stuff on, and don't be afraid if it starts doing this kind of stuff where it's like beading more or less. Just add some more paint, and I probably should have made sure that I washed this gun before with some soap and water before I started painting it, but since I didn't, we'll just go ahead and keep going. So, there we are. So now it's coming along a little bit better. So, and don't be worried if it gets kind of light, because you can always do another coat later. So just do a little bit on here. And I mean, if you want to do different colors for different things, different parts of the gun, you're more than welcome to. This is merely just showing you how I do things. So, and this is, kind of without any forethought of this. So, we're just using very little bits of this paint. So, you don't have to use a lot of paint to really get something painted. So, I've had like a lot of bottles of paint where there's just like barely anything in them, but I've used them for a long time. I've used them for like some of these paints I've had for like 2 or 3 years, and I still use them like all the time. But you only have to use a little bit of the paint to really get stuff painted. You don't have to do anything. So, and you always want to paint your paint while it's wet. If you see it start to dry, don't touch it, because it'll lead to like some creasing, and it'll look just bad. So. You can see any of that. Hope my hands aren't getting in the way too bad. But so, and I'll go ahead and paint this part so you can see the stuff we're going to do later with the dry brushing and the washes. So I have it painted blue. There we are. There we are. Painted blue. Alright guys, Andro667 back with all of you handsome devils out there. And I went ahead and did one more coat, so you can see that. One more coat on this gun. The base coat is what we call this. It is the first coat that we lay down. And you want to do at least 2 coats of paint for your base coat or whatever you're painting. Just in case it gets nicked or drops or something like that, the paint job's not automatically ruined if it just gets dropped once or kicked or something like that. So again, showing you some painting techniques. I'm not going to paint the whole gun. Just this little blue part is really what we're just worried about right now. So the second thing we're going to do after we do our base coat is we're going to do a wash, which is basically a darker color that we're going to really water down so that it's going to seep into just all the little cracks and nooks and crannies and all these things. And then we'll let that dry. Then I'll show you how to do dry brushing, and then you've got everything now. So once it's all done, you'll know how to do it, everything. But these things they take time. Like all great things, these things take time. So we'll go ahead and start by showing you how to make a wash, which is you don't have to go out and buy certain paint that says wash on it. we just go ahead and take some black paint or any dark color paint. So there's a little bit of water and our black, and you're gonna have to do this a couple times, practice wise, to really get your consistency how you want it. You're gonna want a consistency of milk, and if you see it's going on right there, I'll go ahead and move the camera over here so you can see what I'm doing. So there's the wash paint, and we're just going in. See how it's getting in to all the little cracks? I know it's out of focus, but there it goes. It's getting into all the little cracks there, and even some of it's just hanging out on top of the blue also, which it's gonna look pretty nice once we're all done. So this is kind of the I think people say consistency of like milk, but I'd say blood, more or less, just so that you're basically just darkening up what we already painted, but it's still blue. It's not black, you know. Even though we're doing a black wash, as we call these things, just, you know, highlight a couple of these little areas. Make sure you're getting all the stuff in there, and you can already see it's looking a lot better than what it did just with that, you know, preliminary wash. And if you don't like the way some of these things are looking, like if you don't like these black things, you can just smooth it out. Smooth some of that out. See? You know, just smooth this stuff out. Move this in there. It goes right in there. Right? So, there you are. Just so you don't think I'm telling you a miserable lie. It's all right there on camera. Proof. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry, and when we come back, we'll show you how to do dry brushing. Alright guys, I'm back with you for the third time here. We have let our wash dry on our gun, and so you can kind of see the blackness on there and the crevices. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call dry brushing, which is get a dry brush. Absolutely no water should be in this brush. It should be really poofy and fluffy, and should look like the brush that girls or women use to put blush on themselves. You know, pretty girls would use this to maybe put blush on themselves, like that. And that's basically what we're going to do. We're just going to highlight the top parts right here. So like what the wash does, it seeps in all the cracks, and then what dry brushing does is it brings up to the forefront all the stuff that's on the top. It makes it look really. And you want to use a lighter color, so we're going to be using ice blue from Citadel also. So make our gun pretty, just like pretty girls. You know, pretty girls make graves, is what they say. So we're just taking a little bit, just a little bit of paint. And what we're going to do is, actually, so all I have in there is that ice blue, and I'm actually just almost dry brushing the table, actually. And then we come over here to the gun. We're just going to lightly go up and down, perpendicular, and more like a X is what you want to do, really. So it's hard to hold the camera and get this done. So, and you can kind of see the edges coming out, just like that. And if you're not happy with it, you know, do it again. Come back and do some more dry brushing. So, there we are. So if you just go in an X, you'll get all what you need to get, usually. So, there you have it. Some
Nice realistic painting from Andro6657, and I just showed you how to do it, so you can go ahead and do it on your own now. With whatever colors you want, and that's what the gun looked like before. We painted it, and we got that. So there's one of the tricks, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that.
Alright guys, hope you liked that tutorial. Don't forget to like me on Facebook. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Tumblr and everything else that I'm on. Don't forget, always send me questions, leave comments down below. Even if you're just saying cool video, comments count. So go ahead and get all your comments in. Likes, like this video too, get all your likes in. And don't forget to holler at your boy. I just showed you how to customize all your toys. Latest.